What is going on, YouTube? So I'm doing a sub and aftermarket amp installation on my 2008 BMW 335i E90. This car has the optical cable speaker system in it, which is that green wire running to the amp, and it has this really huge connector. And I figured since I was getting into this, I would go ahead and just video document this whole process so you guys have something to follow by. One thing I will tell you guys right now, how to use this pick to hook into this connector, because this thing is really, I mean, I thought I was going to break it. But the way this connector works is when it's connected in, I don't want to reconnect it because it was such a pain in the butt getting it off. But pretend it's connected, and what you have to do is push it over to the right towards you as it's hooked in. And if yours has never been removed before, just go ahead and imagine it's going to be as tough as mine was. Take this pick and hook it inside, and I literally had to pull with all my strength, and it finally broke free. It was super crazy tight. You could see when I hooked right there, it was starting to dig into the plastic, and I hooked it up here, and it broke a piece of plastic off. That's how tight this thing was. But it will need to be pushed out like that. Push it out towards the front of the car just slightly, and then it will slide to the right like that. Very tight, pain in the butt. And once I get my line out adapter, these are the wires on this harness that you need to tap into. Right here you can see your red and white, that's for your sub left, that's the positive. Then you have this brown and yellow. These are really easy to get to, but your right side output is very difficult. You can see a brown and white in there. It's something else we need, but this red and blue is our well, both of these are the sub right output, and you can see they're kind of in the center, and it's very tight to get to. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut some of this tape. I'm gonna cut it from the bottom, because once this is plugged back up you won't see the split. But I'm gonna cut this at the bottom, try to get some more slack with these wires so I can kind of separate the plus and negatives from the rest of the wiring bundle. Don't mess with your optical cable. It's like a fiber optic cable. Just leave it as it is. Do not break that line, or else you will not have audio at all. So mainly I wanted to take this video just to tell you guys that connector is a pain in the butt, and it really is. It's super tight. I thought I was going to break it, and you guys will probably think the same thing. Other than that, if you guys have ever done a sub amp installation, it's really easy. Once we tap into that amp harness and use our line out converter, your battery's right there, and this bottom panel comes up. You just lift this up, and you can wire tuck everything underneath. It's going to be very clean. That's one thing I do like about having a battery in the trunk, is all your wiring is going to be right here. Okay guys, with the tape cut back, I was able to kind of pull the brown, and you can see the red and blue, brown and white. Then we have the red and white, and then brown and yellow. You can see I have them kind of pulled out, separated from the rest of this spaghetti mess. Okay, as you guys can see, I went ahead and just pulled that whole center section of the trunk out, the part that folds. You can see I have it stacked up over there. All you have to do literally is just lift up that plastic handle, and you just pull it out, and it just, you can see it tucks underneath the back seats. The whole thing just pulls right out. Like I said, there it is laying over there. If you guys have an iDrive system, that's like your module for that. Unfortunately, the amp still, well, my amp wouldn't be able to fit underneath the panel anyway. It's going to cause it to raise up and look goofy. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove all of that. So when I wire tuck everything, I'm going to have all the wiring tucked underneath this panel and just come out from underneath right here. I'm going to put the amp and the sub both up against the back seat, and like I said, I'm wire tuck everything. So unless you really look for the wires coming out from underneath those little, these flaps, I mean, it's going to look as clean as I can get it. If you had a really like thin amp, you could probably fit it right there. I think that would be the best look if you could fit it beside your iDrive module, or if it was even thin enough to fit in here. This would actually work better, since you would just have your power and ground going straight from the battery to the amp, and of course your RCA cables, well, your line out adapter, all that would be tucked going underneath this. And then the only wires coming from this, if it was in the center right here, you could wire tuck the speaker wire to your sub, and that would look really clean. If you guys want to look at this and pause the video, screenshot this is your sub left, sub right inputs. So if you guys want to wire in your sub and make it hit correctly, make sure you are using these wires. I went ahead and kind of got my power cable and ground cable situated. I have it mounted on this nut with this iDrive bracket. That should be a decent enough ground, and that way, because this isn't the longest ground cable that came with the kit that I got, so it should be able to reach the amp no problem and still kind of be hidden. Here's the line out converter. I was doing all this wiring while waiting for this to be delivered, and now that it's here it is. You can see it just takes your line out, converts it to RCA output. And here are they're called, well, the box calls them splice wire terminals, but I'm pretty sure these are like T-cap. As you can see, these are going to go over the wire, the subwoofer output wires. You just put these on, use a pair of pliers, and pretty much gives you a connection to hook these spade terminals up to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. It's gonna be a total of 4, of course, to tie into this. So let's go ahead and do that now. So I'm specifically using the Scosche Lock 80 line out converter. So if you guys are using this particular unit, here's the diagram you guys will need for the sub left and right outputs. So your red and white wire needs to connect to the solid white on the converter, and then your brown and yellow will connect to the white and black. Then your sub right outputs, red and blue, will go to the solid gray, and then your brown and white will go to the gray and black. And that's specifically for the Lock 80 line out, the one I'm using. And I'm gonna go ahead and link everything I'm using in this video in the description, so that way you guys can order that and then follow this video exactly, and then with all the compatible parts and following this video, it will guarantee that you will have a working sub. Okay guys, so I got all those connectors put on. You can see I have all the sub wires tapped into the converter. So now I'm gonna hook that up, kind of tuck everything in. These things, I bought like the cheapest set on Amazon. The yellow is for a 4mm gauge. So I stepped down to the blue. Blue seemed to kind of strip and make contact with the copper underneath the sheathing. So hopefully that cut through and it's making a good connection. So if you guys hook everything up and your sub's not working, more than likely it's these cheap. I would buy the more expensive ones, but it's probably because they didn't cut into the coating of the wire to get to the copper. Anyways, they're a pain in the butt to install. So what I did to make life easier, I'll show you guys. So what I did, I just went ahead, I'm using wire cutters, but any pair of pliers, go ahead and get it started within your pliers, then slide it over the wire, and then just go ahead and clamp it. Makes life so much easier if you do it that way. Okay guys, another quick tip here. Let me turn the flash on. So you remember how we had to slide this locking tab, that huge piece, over to unlock it, the connector to come off the amp? Well, you have to make sure that thing's completely slid all the way open when you reinstall it, because if you close it, or if it closes even slightly, it will not reconnect. So it's a pain in the butt. You have to kind of use both hands, hold the wiring harness back because it wants to fight with you, and push the locking tab back into the closed position. So make sure you have it completely open, connect it. Once it reconnects into the amp, then you can push it and lock it in place. Pretty much what it is, you have these little nubs right here that go into that little sliding groove, and that's what locks everything in. And if it's not unlocked to reinstall it, it will not connect and lock. So as you can see, it's kind of a bundle of wires, which nobody's ever going to see this once you put the plastic tray. Once the RCA cables are hooked up, you can just push that out of the way and then run them underneath, wire tuck everything. So now I just need to get the RCA cables, hook them up, amp, sub, power, remote wire, and then of course test it, see if it's even going to work. My car has the Logic 7 sound system in it, but my car does not have the CD changer, and you have this weird like foam wrap over here, and these connectors go to the CD changer if you had one. And as you guys can see, I tap into this red and blue wire for my remote on wire. The amp is powered off, so I was going to confirm with you guys that that power source shuts off when the car is off after 5 minutes. So you guys already seen that the green power on light was not on. So I'm gonna go ahead, turn on my accessories, and the amp now has the green power on source bulb, whatever is lit. So go ahead, turn this off, shut. You don't have to lock the doors, but when the car is inactive, whatever, for 5 minutes, see the light's on now, but eventually it will within 5 minutes turn off. So that is what I'm using for the remote amp power on source. The battery, I'm going to relocate this. I'm going to take this nut off and actually put the wire there so this tucks better. Everything as far as the converter and the way that was supposed to be wired up, that's correct. So follow that. Everything else, if you guys have ever installed a sub before, you know how the speaker wire, ground wire, all that stuff works. Like I said, my ground wire is over there, and it does work perfect. You guys seen the amp was getting power, it's grounded. The sub works. So the way I have this set up, it will work on your Logic 7 E90 BMWs. Everything is localized in the trunk. There's no RCA cables running through the center console to the head unit, no remote wire running up there. Everything's localized right here. So all we have to do is clean everything up, put our trunk panels back in, and we're good to go. We have a little more bass now. So like I said, that's how you should do it with a Logic 7 setup. Here's everything finished up on my car. This is about the best I can do for right now. Looks pretty clean, still have tons of trunk space, and the wiring is kind of hidden for the most part. But yeah guys, hope this video can help some people out, especially with the Logic 7 system. Had to do some troubleshooting, but got everything working now. So now I'm gonna start the car and let the battery charge up a little bit because it was starting to drain pretty bad. So guys, as always, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more BMW content.